Hello.
Why, hello.
You all must know it's not technically my fault that we're late. I was informed that someone would be a little late, and I had
Oh,
3 sick kittens to medicate.
no.
So I said, fuck it, I'm medicating the kittens. But, Har, you seem like you've lost a little weight.
Yeah, right? It's somewhere around the head
Yeah,
area. Seem a little
your
lighter.
neck seems a little thinner.
Yeah.
You want to share with the kids?
Yeah, I just cut off a whole bunch of it. Here, it's easier to see if I take these off.
Right. Look at our cute little mountain pixie.
That's all with my natural curl.
Look at how precious she is when the hair just falls right in front of her eye. She just looking so adorable. See, now
I
we're
love my
both
stylist.
big titty short hair chicks. That's all. That's it. So, hi Moon.
Hey, Moon.
How we did stream, by the way, yesterday, guys. We were informed that people were going to be out of town, and then like right before the time we would have, some folks were like, "Oh, hey, I'm home now," and I was like, "I planned for a night off. I'm getting work done. I barely got work done, but I tried my best." But hello, everyone. It has been one hell of a week for me. I don't know about you, Har.
It's been okay for me.
So remember how Dante?
Yeah,
Dante was on the mend.
was.
Dante was doing better. Then Calliope, Hendrix, Dante, yeah, Dante too, Gorian, and Atticus all got sick. And not just a little sick, but like can't eat. I've got to syringe feed, got to force medicine down their throat. Can't,
Oh, that noise. I hate that noise.
And it got so bad with Atticus, he was snotting up blood
Ugh.
because he ruptured everything here. And let me tell you something, guys. Do you know what's super fun? Putting saline drops into not one, but 5 uncooperative cats in a day, twice. I look this way because on top of that, see, I have not had like in terms of a week, it was not a horrible week. It was a series of unfortunate events. I lost 3 pairs of pants this week. So I had to spend
Say what?
$8. Yeah, 3.
How'd you lose them? Did they just disappear?
No. 2 of them got torn open. And one of them split because I'm losing weight. So I'm constantly pulling them up.
Yeah.
The problem is, fun fact, when you pull up pants too often, they split in awkward spots. And suddenly they became pants that I can only wear for Starman. And while I was at work.
Oh, no.
But thankfully, I didn't realize it till I was getting home. On top of that, Horror, I don't know if I told you this, but I had to light a candle for a loss this week.
Oh.
As we all know, Horror tortured me last Monday with her Hollow Taco collection. I lent my Hollow Taco nail kit to my boss
No.
for 2 seconds.
No.
And her 12-year-old son on the way back down to rush to get back to his video game ran through the kitchen and my crystal nail file crashed and smashed to the floor.
Oh, no. And those things are really hard to break.
Well, I have not been able to do my nails as a result. And mind you, that was the same day that I got the split in my pants.
No.
And so I didn't even have the energy because normally this young man, I love him. He's sweet. But when he does wrong, I call him out. I didn't even have the energy. I just saw more dollar signs I had to spend this week. And I went, I'm going to go home. Because
Oh.
this week I had to spend an extra. Here's the other series of unfortunate events. So we had money in the bank to make a credit card payment, but we were down below by like $10, so the payment rescinded. Well, usually when a payment rescinds, you then have to manually put in the payment. So we did it with excess. And then they retried the payment, so we made a double payment, so we lost $150 this week.
No.
And then we had to buy medicine. So we had to spend an additional $60. We didn't have a medicine. Now, granted, I will say this thing right here, guys. This you need to invest in. It's like $30.
Yeah, what is it?
This is the best over-the-counter decongestant I have ever seen for a cat. Oh, thank you, James.
Thank you. People are super chatting about my hair. That makes me feel special.
And no, I didn't get it, James. Like I said, I'm still not done with the week.
No, she's still going.
Done, guys. I'm still not done. Okay. So, on top of this, I had to work a lot of morning and double shifts, so I haven't been able to do any work this week for this. And on top of that, it's been in the 90s all week. So I've been at work, working double, sweating like a fucking pig, and trying to get that done. And it's what was the last thing? Hold on, I said so many bad shit that happened. We're still not sure if Starman got paid. Oh, that's right. You guys don't realize this. Starman was out of work because he fucked up his wrist.
Yeah.
Okay, I did tell him that. Okay, I'm losing track of shit, guys.
Well, that was last week, yeah.
But then today, my AC broke.
Oh,
So you need to understand how much I love you that I'm sitting in this right now. And the only reason I'm drinking a hot coffee is to keep my throat lubricated.
Wow.
So that. Oh, I already did share that photo. Hold on.
Oh no.
Send it to Horror.
I haven't
can all
seen that
get
photo
with
yet.
me. Did I send it to you already?
No, you haven't.
Oh, you'll see. My coworkers tried to gaslight me, say I look cute. And I was like, I look like one of those assholes that identifies as a 3-year-old. So don't lie to me. But that's okay. I will let you pretend. And then on top of that, just all week fighting with Andrew Tate wannabes, saying a 16-year-old is hotter than a 26-year-old. And I'm like, oh, thanks. See, I'm not sure if it officially broke or just the capacitor broke.
Oh.
But either way,
It's not
your
working.
bitch has been sitting in a nearly 80-degree house all day. Oh, and on top of that, the one thing I needed for the kittens, our humidifier, was stuck behind the washer and dryer. So we could not get it out until I had to call my brother to pull it forward. And then we couldn't get the dryer pump back in place, the little pipe.
No.
So then we had to drill it in.
Hey, Ego.
So when I say it's been a week for Star Son, it's been a week.
Yeah.
It's been a fucking week. And I just today, because I keep not getting my messages on Instagram because I stopped reading them when I got sick for so long that
It's hard to catch up.
It's hard to catch up. And so today I just kind of went through them all and I read, and I was done. Because I was like, God. Because I've had a perpetual like 16 missed messages on my Instagram now for a while. And I was just done. Let me get up the photo so I can tell you guys. Because Horror's probably looked at them as like, damn, she does look bad.
I haven't looked yet.
I want to show you how much my coworkers gaslit me to claim I look cute. I know what I do look like. Now, I'm no Gorlock, but I'm no Claudia either. This how I be looking with my hair clipped back and me sweating my ass off.
You just look tired.
Oh, I'm exhausted. You understand, this was me on like day 3 of getting up early and feeling like shit.
You look like somebody out of a movie, and unfortunately, it's
Is it a
not
lesbian movie?
No, it's not a lesbian movie.
Is it a movie about a transgender? Because that,
No.
Now look, see? This is one thing. Gorlock the Destroyer, you retard. My age is showing, your lack of dank knees is showing.
Tacos would fix that right up, says Cross and Bean.
Tacos don't belong anywhere near me. Anywhere near this discussion.
Tacos are delicious.
And this is me trying to feel cute with how hideous I look.
No, there's a movie, and granted, the person I'm thinking you look like is probably the antagonist of the movie.
It's from that new Brokeback Mountain remake with the two fat, disabled, non-binary trans lesbians. Exactly. No, and so I felt like just this week, you guys, not my week. Not. But I will say, all the kittens, as of today, are on the perfect mend. For the last 3 days, Atticus had us the most worried because he couldn't breathe through his nose, his eyes had all the gunk, and he was losing heaps of weight because he refused to eat. So I was force feeding this kitten. This evening, he was eating scraps off the floor. He was so ready to eat.
Good.
We were so thrilled. Oh yeah, and on top of that, because he lost the 150, I wasn't able to buy the cat food I need to. So now they're eating kitten food for a day or two. Oh, and the litter. So remember that whole problem of me getting sick in the first place?
Yeah. Still
potentially happening again. Yay.
No.
So, since I don't want to repeat of that, if I start feeling real shitty, we're ending stream. But anyways, so now you all know my Lemony Snicket's week.
I mean, the worst thing that happened to me is Sheep and I tried to go to the lake yesterday, and the lake's an hour away-ish, and discovered when we got there that there's a $5 day use charge, and none of us had cash.
Also, thank you to whoever said I'm thin looking.
You are looking much thinner.
Well, right now I can tell I'm swollen because the house is so hot. But I was swelling in my legs, and I noticed the swelling is definitely going away.
Yay!
Because in one day I lost 4 pounds. So, like, I've been watching it because it's a whole up.
Losing weight's really irritating.
Not only that, but the summer is really irritating. Is it fall yet?
No.
Also, I got to trim up this because all this is starting to get warm. Yes. This is how sensitive to heat I am. See this?
Nobody wants you to listen to you. Quiet.
Too long.
God.
That is something. Do you guys want to see how cute? Of all the kittens, I'm not trying to pick a favorite because I love them all. Who wants?
But she has a favorite.
No, Dante's face though. I'm starting to call him the little fox.
Oh yeah.
Because he looks like a fox. You want me to get him, guys?
Yeah, go get him.
Where's Bruce?
He's downstairs. Oh no, he can come upstairs. He's just not upstairs just a moment.
Let Horror tell you about the $5 day. And did you get to go swimming at all at least?
No, we did something else. We went to there's an area. Oh, I did a pretty kitty. Come on, Alley Cat. Kitty.
The other thing was, so Sinbad has dug a hole in the couch and hides in it sometimes.
Oh no.
And one morning, Starman was trying to get him out of the couch. Took us like an hour extra. The one shining light of this week is every day the Starman hasn't been here, and I've got to get Sinbad. I won't show you the videos because I look like shit in them, and I'm walking around with my titties hanging out and everything. But it's on the video to my entire house, and I walk right to the camera because it takes me like a minute or two to get Sinbad, and then I walk up to the camera and go, "What a good boy he is! Hi, Daddy!" And then I put him away.
Aww.
And I've got
lemon does not go well with tacos. Lime, yes. Lemon, no. It's just weird.
Wrong. That's wrong. It's stank in here. I need new litter.
But yeah, so we went to an area called Giant Springs instead. We took Sydney for a nice walk. That dog is getting big. Hold on, I'm going to see if I can get a cat.
Come here. Kitty, kitty. Oh, you're a pain in the butt.
Cat. Wait, aren't what the same? Lemon and lime? Hell no. Lemon and lime are much different.
I mean, they're similar profiles. Look at how big he's gotten,
Look at
guys.
him.
Look at how big he is and how
Gotten
much more
huge.
curious he is.
He's way more
getting
energetic
big.
than
He's gonna
last
be a
time.
big boy. He's also been very chonky because he's been eating all the food that Atticus hasn't been eating. What? What do you want? Look at that little fox face. What, you want to go see?
Vincent,
wanna go
what are
see?
you attacking?
But listen, if you listen closely, he's got that little,
With a little Reezy.
he's got the snottiness to him. Can you just relax?
Ow.
Did he bite you?
No, this cat's got ridiculous claws, and they get snagged and everything. I've got to trim his nails again.
That's very common of brown tabbies, I've noticed.
Well, there was a back before we remodeled the house. The back door had just a wooden what's that thing called?
Hinge.
Trim. Just had wooden trim on the edge, and this asshole right here, this innocent-looking jerk,
Douchebag.
had shredded the wood, the actual wood, with his claws. Because we don't know why. It's the only doorway he's ever done it to. But he would shred the daylights out of that doorway. And he has some ridiculous claws some days. He starts coming to me when he knows he needs his nails trimmed, because they start catching in things.
He is Dante trying to get that Garfield build. He is definitely food motivated. He is human and food motivated. But depending on the day, it's one or the other is more. He is definitely easily overheated like me and very curious. Right now, like his nose is going wild. He's going, huh? But look at that little cute fox face he's got.
No. He's looking so cute.
I know, what a good boy.
He's a very cuddly kitty. The puppy, oh god, he's getting way too cute and cuddly.
You gotta give him away now, girl.
Mm-hmm. He's got to go. He's got to go. He's getting too cute. He'll come down the stairs and he'll run up and he'll sit down and he'll look up at you with his little puppy face and waggle his little puppy tail, and you're like, oh shit. Then you wonder, what the fuck did you do?
Mm-hmm.
Because I woke up this morning. I woke up this morning and go downstairs, and Mom had put her iPad charger cord in my chair that had been chewed.
See, this little douchebag right here loves to chew cords. Any cord, anything that is a wire, a rope, something that he's not supposed to put his teeth on. Oh yeah, he's there. But as you can see, he worships attention.
Oh, what was that?
What's that, Daddy? Matt,
Let's go get
are you decent?
Yeah.
You want to come take the little demon? He's finally gaining his nickname back. For a couple weeks now, he's been just like. But the last 2 days, he's been a hellion.
Oh, you can tell. He's got that look on his face.
You feel fresh and clean?
Yes,
So fresh and so
brush,
clean?
please.
Huh? Oh yeah. Here you go. Give him a little brush too. Oh, he's so happy. He's just always so excited to see everything. Like right now, he's sniffing Starman. Like, Dad, what you do? I don't know if you can see it. Let me see. Like, He never has an unhappy face. Everything's just so exciting for him. Thank you, sir. If you feel like bringing me Gorian, you're allowed, but if you do not, it's all right. Everyone will just cry.
Okay, everyone cry.
We'll sit here and pout without kittens.
Right? It's already getting so sweaty though. Holding him because he's such a warm kitten. Like, I feel physically like
Yeah.
so sweaty. All right, everyone's sending me supposedly Discord photos. So let me see. Aww. It's James and Gothics and
Oh.
oh my god, this is cute.
The same feeling I get with tacos.
Listen, sir, it seems like you have a problem.
I
You
mean,
have a
he's
relationship with
Mexican.
tacos that should not be. What are you doing to those tacos?
Oh, what a
This
face.
is Bablito's little puppy,
Oh.
and he claims to survive against Orion, and I'm like,
Yeah, no. Ryan would eat that.
Orion would destroy her. Is she cute? Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
Cute as a button.
But by the way, hello. I don't know if we actually said a possible hello today.
We said a vague hello. We didn't really say a direct hello.
Hey.
Then we said hello to Moon.
A fan for me. I gotta keep this.
I was worried about that. I gotta get the duster.
I don't care if it's dusty.
Sure.
Yeah, I want the smell down. Because of someone's mishap with a certain credit card. It's gonna be stank. And I need that. Oh, put some water in there too. I didn't sure I could stay on here for more than 20 minutes. Because it wasn't that bad earlier, but it's the moisture in the air and everything else.
Yeah, it doesn't help. Thank you, Moon. I appreciate it. I'm really happy with it. I love my stylist.
She did a good job. I was worried because your hair is so like curly. Would it go too tight?
Yeah, no, it thankfully doesn't get really tight curls. Just these loose wavy-ish ones. And they really only do this if I have to sit down with some leave-in conditioner after I wash my hair and put that through, and then I put in a little oil afterwards, and I get some really good curl. On the plus side, it took me a quarter of the time to wash my hair.
Oh, that was the other lemony snickets. My cell phone charger doesn't work anymore.
No.
It barely works. Bless you, sir. It is not a bad product.
What is
So the problem with OnePlus is, at least with the one that I have, the model that I have, we found out the hard way because I never had to loan it to anyone else before. Last summer, when my niece was staying with us, as some of you might remember, when I had all the kids staying in the house for a while, and then my 12-year-old niece stayed a few weeks afterwards. Hi, Esteban.
Hey, Esteban.
She asked to borrow the cell phone charger, and I didn't think anything of it. But she's a 12-year-old, or was, and shit gets gunked up. So it got some gunk in it, and I thought that's why the cell phone charger stopped working. Because after that, it would go on and off, and it was being a little bitch. So after a while, I ordered a new one. And then Starman asked to borrow my cell phone charger. And then it happened again. And that's when I realized there's something in the way it's wired. The frequency, whatever it is, if I let someone else use a wire designed for a OnePlus, it will stop working for the OnePlus. It either shorts out or freaks out or something. And they will tell you straight out, they have foregone some features. So that way the OnePlus has a better camera and a couple of other things. So it's designed to be a phone that is primarily focused on being a good camera phone, which is why I picked it in the first place.
Right.
You guys got to realize that this phone is going on like 5 or 6 years old. Maybe even more, because when I got it, the model was going away. And I bought it straight out at the very beginning of the pandemic for like $200 or $300. So it was already an old model when I got to it.
Right.
Okay? I didn't utilize it for another 6 months. I forget why. I think because I couldn't go into T-Mobile to transfer everything because of the pandemic.
Mm.
So I had to find out a day that I could do it. Whatever. So when I finally was able to utilize it, it was great. It's fantastic. But because I had minimum interactions with people, and Starman always had his cell phone charger on him, never had to lend it out. So I don't know. Now, it's happened several times since, because in the last year I've interacted with more people.
Right.
And like in the instance of Ark, if you're watching, he unplugged my phone without asking and then plugged in his. And a week later I had to order a new charging cable because it stopped working. And, you know, it's stuff like that where people don't realize it. And this one is because I thought maybe the base would be okay. We were at an event last week where we had to do something. What have you done to sheep? You turned him into a cat. And so, hi, Edie.
Hi, Squirrely.
And
Oh,
so,
hi, Edie. I'm the cat.
with I thought with the base it'd be okay, but the
Right.
base is the same thing. So,
Really?
yeah. Just one of them things. But anyways, going back to the original conversation I want to have with you all today, I did want to let you guys know, especially because I know not everyone is a cat expert, to put it. A
Mildly.
lot of people know dogs, not a lot of people know cats. There are certain things you can do to help your cat if it's an adult and it has an upper respiratory infection. And I don't know if I said it before, but I will say it now. Granted, yes, you should go to a vet, but this is advice I got from my vet. When you have it, you should get a tab or a half tab of L-lysine, crush it up into food, or if you are good at it, which I can be, directly insert it into the back of their throat and force them to swallow it. You can also get what's called a pill injector. The Brucey. Hey, babe. Can you bring me the medical kit from my nightstand? Like the nasal swabs and the stuff?
Or you can follow the directions in my vet's office, which instructs you to push the pill down your cat's throat and then pray.
Exactly. Pray very hard.
Hi, bud. Oh, the baby. Oh, who's so
Bring
cute.
me the gel, the Miracle Vet, the nasal
Who's so cute?
nasal drop,
Who's so cute. Oh, who's so cute.
a syringe, the syringe.
Oh, who's a cuddly puppy? Puppy.
And the bottle of lysine and the pill crusher.
No, sheep's not a cat. I need him as a human.
I didn't need that part. I didn't need this
Yeah,
part.
it's easier that way.
Yeah.
I can bring this out there. to get,
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Just get me the L-lysine and the pill crusher.
Yes, you are cute, Edie.
Edie's adorable. So I put up with that for sure. No.
Oh, you're so silly.
I know, Nova.
You're so silly. You're a silly boy who needs a bath and a butt trim. Yes, you do. You need a butt trim.
So I'm gonna show you guys pill injectors, and they're hilarious to look at, but they're very effective.
Does it look anything like a slingshot?
No, it's even better. Nova, hush. It's not food. She saw Matthew bring me all that stuff, so now she's like, food? It's not food. So these are pill injectors, and as you can see,
Oh, good luck with that.
they
Holy
use
fuck.
the picture of a hissing cat, but I will tell you from experience, these work. So how you do it, Nova, come on, you'll be a, literally, how you do it.
You're going to want to make it bigger. There you go.
So you take the cat, pill, corner of the mouth, back of the throat, inject. You saw how quick that was? Scruff, corner of the mouth, always the corner of the mouth, right to the back of the throat, and inject and release. Or if you're really good like me, grab the mouth and rub the throat. Here's why
And
you
then
do that. It
pray they
forces
don't hold
them
it.
to swallow.
But then you want to pray they don't hold a grudge because otherwise they're
They
coming
will.
for you.
Yeah, Lexi should have been on the kitchen counter. If not, then it's somewhere on my nightstand.
Oh, you're such a silly boy.
You sure it didn't fall somewhere? Remember, it's that bottle with the yellow top. So this right here, guys, is a pill crusher.
Yep.
If you ever have to powder anything for your cat, it's super easy.
Ew, ew. I need to trim his butt. I just got some poop.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Literally, you put the pill flat side down, you screw it in place, and it'll crush the pill. Here's a lot of stuff that I use when a cat is sick. And the reason why I use these is oftentimes, unlike with dogs, although some, even then to an extent, dogs won't, cats don't eat when they're sick. So you have to force food into them. Cats barely like drinking water as it is. So the reason why I was bringing up the powder is because if you've got to get L-lysine into them, but the cat can't breathe through their nose, you have to put whatever is down their throat easy. So making it into a powder and mixing up this, which is liquid. This is high cal, and this is actually for multiple animals. You can use this on puppies, adult dogs, kittens, cats, horses, calves, piglets, cattle, goats, and sheep. You can use this on multiple animals.
See, honey, there's something out there for you.
Right? And it's finally good. And see what this is. This gives you, see this long list right here? This is all the vitamins and minerals that come in this. But if you have a carnivore, specifically cats, this is not something you should feed your cat all the time. This is an emergency thing only. And the reason I say that is because it contains corn syrup and cornstarch and malt syrup. But this, mixing these together, and I will warn you, when it squeezes out, it looks like a little piece of doo-doo. But mixing in some water, some meat pate of some kind, or wet food, make sure it's pureed, this and this, mix that all together, and then use syringe feed. Now, this is a kitten syringe, and if you look really closely, you can see that the kittens, once they get the taste of food in their mouth, they chew on it.
Yep.
So the syringe is reaching the end of its life. As you can see, I just used it earlier. And I haven't gotten to clean it off yet. But this is extremely helpful when See, now this seems like play, but notice how she's not letting him win. She's showing him that no matter what, he can't be bratty. He's got to give in to the older dog.
Yeah, just shook. Oh, just shook.
Now, this is L-lysine. And these are the larger ones. And getting out one of these, I usually recommend a half tab, right? So splitting these is as easy as putting it on your hand.
Ow. Stop that.
And splitting it in half. And putting it into this. Since I always use these for Zorro's treats, it's okay. You ready for how easy this thing is to use? Listen to this. It already cracked. Him so angry. Fizzgig doesn't sound happy.
No, he doesn't sound happy at all, does he?
Puppies rarely like being not the top dog. They have this imagination going wild that they believe they rule everybody. And it really pisses them off when they don't.
It's funny because he'll play with Sydney, who is a good 10 pounds heavier than him. And Sydney will let him win. Sydney will let him get on top of him and bite him.
Oh, of course.
It's hilarious to watch. And then other times Sydney will just pin him between his front legs and chew on him. But
there you see. Now you have a fine powder that you can mix into all the wet food. And so what I'm going to do is store the other half pill in the little reservoir on top. And then I'm going to close this up. And now I have a powdered and a whole tablet. Here's the really sucky part, because you
I'm not
think
appreciating
is
this.
scary. If you think this is scary, does anyone know what this is?
Oh God, why would you want to do that to yourself?
So this is the only way to really kill an upper respiratory infection. The L-lysine is a protein builder, so that's how it helps the cat get over the cold. But this is how you get rid of the snot. And now that I discovered this in combination, fantastic. Calliope was better in a day.
Oh wow.
Hendrix, 1 day. It's the kittens that took longer, but that's because, oh no, this is not baby lotion. Not baby lotion.
That's saline spray, my friend. Think about trying to get that up a cat's nose.
Oh, I can promise you, it's not easy. You have to. I'm not going to demonstrate on them
Chill it
because
out.
you really shouldn't do it, but it's very similar to the pill format, except you need to have this at the ready. You need to have the cat under your arm because you need leverage. You need to have them in a place where you can hold them so they can't jump at you. You
Or away from you.
and you go like this at a downward angle, but their nose facing up. So that way they're like this. This releases the snot from the cat. One of the biggest things that damages and can potentially kill your cat when they have an upper respiratory infection is they constantly are trying to clear out their nasal passages. And this is what was going wrong with Atticus. He was sneezing so much that the the blood vessels in his nostrils were erupting and he was getting bloody noses. And that can cause a whole slew of problems in your cat. This is the very last thing you do and should not do it very often. Once a day. If you do it too often, you can actually burn the inside of their nostrils.
You can actually do the same thing to human nostrils, so.
Yeah, it's the same. It's good for you in small doses. But this is what I just discovered. And this is Homeopet Nose Relief. And it's a natural and safe homeopathic remedy. And what I did was, for the kittens, I have diluted some in their drinking water. So that way they have no choice. See right here. This comes with 450 drops in it. 5 drops in their mouth, up to as little as once a day, 3 times a day, or if it's very severe, every 15 minutes for 4 times in 1 hour.
Oh,
so
wow.
you can do 4 times in 1 hour, every 15 minutes.
Sorry.
No, it's bloody nose, not blood nose. What are you talking about? Can't with James. And whatchamacallit. And I administer this. You can put it 5 drops directly into the mouth of the cat. Again, just like with the syringe. Corner of the mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you have multiple cats in a house that have the same illness, putting this in a non-filtered bowl of water. If it's filtered, it's going to get rid of everything. So you got to make sure it's a standing bowl of water. And you have to put in, I diluted 8 drops into maybe 4 ounces of water. Because it was 3 kittens, and I wanted to make sure they got stuff into their system.
Right.
And so it works really well. I will say that, obviously, and I always knew there's something wrong with Atticus. Atticus is definitely not as strong as the other 2. Because Dante had some kind of infection besides this. And the leg injury. We found out he had hurt his back leg, which is one of the reasons why he was acting weird.
Right.
So now he's back to his complete and total self. I think he stretched the muscle or something. But Gorian was genuinely like sick for a couple of days. But then with Atticus, he just completely shut down. Stopped moving, got very cold, lost weight very fast, very snotty, and kept to himself. So I knew I had to be aggressive with him. So I was, throwing everything at him that I had, every knowledge that I had. Now they're all fine. Again, like I said, so you have to know what you're doing. The first time you have a sick cat, yes, I recommend going to the vet. But I will tell you, if you are someone who is not always financially stable, these are shelf-stable items that you can invest in that can mean the difference between your cat suffering or not.
Yeah.
You have to use them smart, you have to use them responsibly, and you have to make sure you measure everything out so you don't overdose your cat. But I will tell you, I have not had to take my animals to the vets outside of getting them fixed or
Shots.
Unless you count Penny nearly dying and Zora when he first got injured. Outside of serious issues, I have not had to take my animals to the vet because I make sure, one, they have whole, solid foods, lots of protein, lots of nutrients in it. You will realize an animal's body naturally stays healthy as much as possible as long as you give it the right building blocks. I'm not going to say this is 100% foolproof, and I'm not going to say that there isn't a possibility that your animal can still get sick.
Or that your specific animal might need more.
Right. Here's what I will tell you. I have no reason why this cold happened. No one I know owns cats but me. My dad has not interacted with anyone else's cats. My sister-in-law and brother have not interacted with anyone else's cats. There's no reason why we had this cold go through the house.
Well,
I
mean, you have been involved in a number of public
yes, but
events lately, and
the public events that I go to don't involve animals.
No, but those people could have sick animals and then bring it there
Right.
to you. And it's not the normal way it works, but it is a possibility depending on the strength of the virus.
Very true. And this one, while not strong against adults, was very strong. I gave it to Athena last night, by the way. Just this. No, I lie. I got one nostril. Athena's strong. And she tried to spit out half of this. She hasn't sneezed once all day.
Nice.
So if you're good and you get to it quickly, it eliminates the cold. Because it can cause lasting damage in your cat. It can cause a chain reaction of other issues. And the thing is, a cat that can't smell is a cat that won't eat. That's the main problem a lot of folks don't realize.
There's a puppy standing at the top of the stairs whining because he doesn't think he can get down.
Mm-hmm.
And worse, because he knows there's people downstairs and a person upstairs. He thinks that someone should come get him.
Oh, Brucey. But I don't know how it works with dogs, because with dogs, it's always been very different. Like, I will say, very lucky. I will say I'm very lucky. My dogs have never caught a cold.
I don't think my dogs have ever caught a cold.
It's very rare. You have to go to places where lots of dogs frequent, and especially if lots of dogs that people don't take care of. You have to go to the vet a lot.
Yeah.
You have to go to the pet store and not keep your animal clean. And I am, again, knock on wood, the worst thing my dogs have gotten is like diarrhea. And usually that is due to either weather or because I gave them something that was just a little too hydrated for their system. It was never actual sick. It was Orion ate cat poop, so now he's shitting around the house. It was never like Orion snotty and coughing, because I know with dogs catching colds, it's a little more serious.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how to fight it.
I've never had a dog catch an actual cold. I've had my dog when I was younger, much younger, had a eye infection because he got into a fight with a squirrel. And I had to put some eye medicine on that. That was fun.
I had an ear infection once.
I dealt with a cat that had my spooky cat, my big black cat from my childhood, had a number of ear infections because he would just scratch his ears too hard. And so he had chronic ear infections all the way until the point that we had him totally declawed. because that was just the only answer at that point, because
Right.
otherwise we were just going to be going back. We spent that cat probably $10,000 in vet bills over the course of his life for ear medication, for bladder infections, just all sorts of issues with him. But we found out Iams is a terrible cat food. Way too much ash in it will cause you issues. We may have
Crystals too.
Oh yeah, crystals, and that was actually the big thing was the crystals, because we ended up lopping off his penis because by
First
then
transgender cat.
The damage had been so done that it was anything went wrong, and he would end up with a bladder infection. He'd be around the house yowling at everything and pissing blood on
People
everything.
don't understand why I'm so anal about pet food. They sit there and say that I'm being snobby, and no, you don't understand. A lot of these foods are made by the same companies that sit there and tell you health at every size. They're owned by Nestle. They're owned by Kraft. They're owned by all these people. Nabisco, all these people that feed you shit. And then they hire nutritionists that work for candy companies and tell you that to indulge yourself and eat without guilt. So I don't want to hear shit. Stay away from pet food. Here's what I will tell you. You have to, and we've given this so many times to you guys. First 5 ingredients. Avoid lots of legumes. Avoid lots of starches. Avoid lots of sugars. Avoid corn, soy, wheat, byproduct.
First ingredient should always be meat.
Always be meat or broth. Always. It's just so bad otherwise. I will say before we continue, Real Wade Nation had a question.
To the beginning of YouTube?
Hunter still hasn't really started to YouTube.
No. I'm still more of a streamer than a YouTuber.
She just does it with me because,
I stream on YouTube, but
it's not the same thing.
No, the video thing is not something I'm sure I'll ever really. I mean, I might be able to get into clipping my videos, but I would much rather just find an editor and let them do that.
For me, I'm too early in the process still. I've only been doing this 2.5 years. And honestly, I'm still lucky to have, I guess if anything, I would just have started earlier in the pandemic. Because
I just started earlier in general. Yeah.
Right. Only because I wish I had caught on at the beginning of my furlough. I wish I still hadn't been body positive then. And I wish I had been more self-aware of my depression and my loss then. But at the same time, yeah, you guys gotta realize something. I had a YouTube for years, and I was constantly thinking about doing stuff. I privated a lot of the videos, but I had done stuff that was drawing tutorials, and I had done responses to current events, but I didn't know what it was about. So I utilized my YouTube as kind of like a thing where someone got upload a video for myself. And I didn't think anything of it. Honestly, at the time, I had so much going on, so much. Everyone has to go through a process. And at that time, like many of you know, Starman and I almost divorced. I had just lost 2 of the most important people in my life. The world was going through some shit. I wasn't sure if I'd have a job to go back to. And I was trying to find a way to sit in a house with someone that I was very mad at all the time. And that wasn't there. So I couldn't even yell at them. Because they were constantly working. It was a very different situation then. And so I wasn't in the brain space. You guys see now, when I get tripped up, I disappear. It is so much easier to ignore everything and just focus. I get hyper focused on the task at hand, which is why I tried to get everything done and I was almost there. And then I got sick. I knew that July and August would be very trying months because I was just getting into it with my second job. I literally have a second phone. This is how much work my second job is. There is no personal things on this phone. This phone is literally purely to handle all the social media of my other boss. And I've gotten requests from 3 other companies. 3.
Wow.
To do their social media. And I've had to turn them down because I don't have the time. If I could very successfully, I would have to give you all up completely. There would be no more streaming. I would have to completely shut down YouTube. I would have to just forget about all of you. I'd be
Well, we
making
don't want that.
$800 per month per person. But I have put too much time into all of you. So to answer your question, Wade, I wouldn't change anything because I had to do a lot to get here. And I don't want to give it up because I've had every opportunity to give it up. I could have given up YouTube to make more money quite a few times. I am not going to pull a paycheck from YouTube this month for the first time in a while because I didn't get to put anything into it. But I do believe what I do here is helpful. It's why I'm going to try to give back money to those that I did commissions for because I am making a little more money now. And I feel bad. I've been so stressed the last year. You know, there's been a lot. Like, I can't believe it's been a year now since Penny almost died. Like, that's crazy to me.
It's amazing how much can change in a year, too, though.
Last year, at this time of year, I was like on the cusp, right? So, Starman and I were supposed to have money. And then I had to use all the money that I had to take care of Penny. So then I had to recover that money and still pay for more. So it was a very hellish time.
Yeah.
And know what can help. That's not a problem, honey. It's just you got to understand something. A lot of people have to understand that YouTube, there is no guarantee to any success on YouTube. I can give you all the advice in the world.
I'm not even successful, so.
Right. And I'm not even successful. Part of the reason why I'm even able to do what I do is because I was able to make connections when I worked with another YouTuber. The only connection I have that is completely 100% organic is Michelle. And that's because I started following her. She liked how I talked. And then she put 2 and 2 together on Instagram. And we became friends naturally that way. But the rest of them are all thanks to Gothics. And I tell her that. And I tell all of you that. Even Blair, who knew who I was. Blair did not really realize who I was till the day when Gothics interviewed her. And she saw me. She's like, I do know you. You sent me that message a few years back. I'm like, yes. And like my claim to fame, even though obviously Blair doesn't remember, is if anyone remembers her quoting, like, you know, the vegan cat thing, feeding your child, that's because I showed her the meme. That's my claim to fame. That's it. And even then, I just sit there and go like, I showed her that. Thank you. Yes. And that's it. Because you have to realize something, guys. This is not something you can easily do. You have to have backup income from somewhere in order to make YouTube successful. You cannot be successful in any of these platforms, whether it's Twitch, YouTube, what is it, Kick, any of it.
Rumble, anywhere.
You cannot be successful unless you have someone else supporting you, unless you get overnight fame. And I
don't really want that. That's a mess too.
Virality. Think back to Asian Talk with Me. Think back to when all the artists were trying to dox me and threaten me. That's the closest I come to overnight virality. And the only reason I was able to handle it is because I'm kind of an asshole. And I like fuck with people that fuck with me.
Yeah, that actually overnight virality is probably one of my biggest nightmares because that's the last shit I want to deal with. I don't have the time or the energy to deal with those kind of people, and I just start ignoring them. I don't.
That's the truth. And that's the thing. Like, I have known enough people who have been canceled. I have visually witnessed what they go through, and I went through something similar, and it didn't affect me. I made call-out videos about it. I mocked them, and I won in the end.
I hate you, Kat.
See, she hates me.
No, I hate the little black asshole over there.
Yeah, she talks about her man like that. God,
At least
But-
it's a nice ass. I mean,
that's true. And it's just, you have to be prepared for that. If you want to do this stuff, it doesn't matter how straight-laced you think you are. If you're doing wholesome content, if you're doing controversial content, no matter what you do, someone out there on the internet is going to be pissed at you.
Mhm.
And someone's going to hate on you.
Oh, yeah.
You might get a stalker. You might get someone. There are people who routinely come back to my channel every few months just to tell me how ugly and fat I am.
I'd randomly have people tell me they hate me, and it's like, okay,
And I'm like,
cool.
Like, again, when I got the second, which by the way, it fizzled out so quick, the second time the artist thing happened. But the same people who were pissed at me the last time literally came back again. I could see them on my stories, watching my stories, liking my tweets, and coming to my YouTube and making the same comments. You have to be prepared for all that. And I say that because a lot of people really don't prepare themselves for that. They see, I had someone say once that a YouTuber that I knew was a multimillionaire. Person I knew personally. And I looked at them, I was like, no, they're not. I know for a fact they're not. And they were like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, do you understand that their following cannot equate to that? Their following equates to maybe $3,000 a month. You guys don't understand that, yes, you can make a living you can make a living on YouTube at 39,000 followers.
Oh, yeah.
A very steady living.
I'd just be happy to get 500 personally, but
My first 500, I was thrilled. And then right after the 500, I hit 1,000. Like, I was making 1,000 a week up until I hit 6,000. I was so mad. I wanted it to cap at 12. I would have been thrilled with that. Now I'm struggling for that last 200. But the point is, a lot of folks don't understand that in order to make even that 3K a month, you've got to produce so much content. Your life has to be YouTube. Seriously.
Yep.
You have to produce content every other day. You've got to stream. You've got to interact. Until you reach 300,000, 400,000 subs, you cannot coast on YouTube paychecks. Even then, if your videos are not replayable, you will not make money. You won't. You have to make a baseline of a certain amount for them to even pay you. And then there's the other problem with it. If you want to make it big doing this, understand this: taxes. Making $3,000 a month sounds great. Take home $3,000 a month, and you have to live off of that completely and put some aside for taxes.
Fuck the government. Oh, sorry. Did that come out? I can't imagine where that came from.
A lot of folks don't think about that. So then you have to make sure you keep track of everything that you buy. What's a business expense? What's not a business expense? And then on top of that, you can't lie about it. Because if they audit you, then you have to go back and prove that you did that expense for work.
Yep.
So you have to keep the receipts. You've got to keep the paperwork. There's a lot that goes into this, more than just turning on a camera and saying, hi guys. You have to invest in the products. This alone, what we're doing right here, costs me $20 a month. Just this.
And that's just for the program to stream it. That
Right.
doesn't include anything else. I mean, we won't even discuss how much I just dropped in for my investment in what I do, because I bought myself a whole new computer, a whole new, very fancy, very really high-end computer that probably I don't necessarily entirely need just for this, but is indeed
Actually,
for
government, she does need it very much so, because she does a lot of video game streaming.
Oh no! I stream off this thing. It is totally this is a tax
totally
write-off.
needs
We
it.
are
She
not even.
totally
I mean,
needs it.
okay, you're right. I completely need it, as well as the fancy new thing here, and the new keyboard to go with the computer, and the monitor to go. The second monitor go with the first monitor to go with the computer, and all sorts of other things that we won't discuss.
Right here, perfect example. I don't know what. I'm assuming, Jack, you do crossroad trucking. But whatchamacalls it? By the way, hi T.
Hi, T.
But this is the point I'm trying to make, guys. I am not disparaging being a YouTuber, because if you feel you have something to say, do
Say
it.
it, please.
But my issue is I have been in just a small gathering I've got of people. I have found a lot of people look at me, they think something about the way I'm doing this, and they want to emulate that for no other reason than so they can have people talk to them and like them. I am asking you, I'm begging you, I'm pleading with you. Never, ever, 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 ever make a YouTube just so people will like you and people will follow you. And so you can be famous or to make money. If that is your goal, you will fail. I say that as someone who's watched a lot of people, who knows a lot of people. Don't do it. If you don't have a message, if you don't have a goal, if you don't have a reason for doing this, just get a 9-to-5. Because you will not succeed. And the reason you won't succeed is because you're too busy chasing the dollar rather than putting out what you're passionate about. There's a reason why, even though Horror and I expected 2 people to tune in every Monday, I get almost 20 to 30 people watching this sometimes, because we are passionate about animals. We enjoy it, and you guys enjoy us talking about it. So we get a lot of people watching it. But if I hate you.
Well, geez, I could have directed you a website for that.
Right? Especially right now. Russia's looking for some donations. No.
Or Ukraine, either one. They're
money hungry. But
very, very, very attractive women who are looking to get out of that country.
True. That's very true. And we talk about animals on the stream.
Right now we're talking about the human animal and their psychological addiction to the internet.
In a minute, I gotta talk to you all about someone again. Because she just reminded me when she said the human animal.
Uh-oh.
And you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, that again. Okay, yeah.
But anyways, what I'm saying is, because she can tell you the streamer side of it, I can tell you the YouTube side of it. I know for a fact, because there was a time I had a very good upflow. If I had produced more stuff and pumped more out, I could be in a much better place right now. But
I understand that feeling.
I had more important things on this side. I have people who are literally, with this job, I'm not dancing with normal people. Okay? I am dancing with people that make international trips on a whim, that own multi-million-dollar businesses. And they're relying on me to do this. And I'm not bragging when I say that. What I'm saying is, if you get the opportunity to do something like this, unless you're making buco bucks, you will have to sacrifice your YouTube and your social media stuff to do this shit.
Yep.
You have to prioritize life, because I've said this before on this stream. At the end of the day, while I love you guys and I am here for you, in
Her
a lot
life
of ways,
comes
this
first.
isn't real. I could turn off the cameras tomorrow and never post again, and none of you would be able to get a hold of me, and I could just disappear. And that's how simple that is. And you, as a person getting into this, have to remember that, because a lot of people can get lost in the sauce, and they let this encompass their lives, and they let it overtake them. But before you were on YouTube, you had this. You had 4 walls, a roof over your head, family, friends, a job. Don't lose track of all this.
And that's honestly, when you see those streamers go crazy or the YouTubers go crazy and spiral out of control, it's because they lost track of their lives, because they forgot who and what they are and what they really wanted to do. And they just totally went off the deep end because this became their life. And so they had no room for an actual life.
I work for the most wholesome version of her. We'll put it that way. Here's
I don't
what
even know
will-
who that is.
Devil Wears Prada.
Oh, right.
And it's the truth. You're right. How often, if any of you watch the body cam channels on YouTube, do you know how many lately YouTubers and TikTokers are showing up?
Way more than there
Getting
should.
so
That Mormon
many.
one? Did you see that Mormon one?
Yeah.
Oh my
that was
God.
bad.
Oh.
This bitch thinking that she can't get in trouble if she hits a man, but he can get in trouble for pushing her out. Oh,
Way.
and she was drunk.
Oh
She
my
wasn't
God.
just drunk, she was crunk.
Which
And-
for a Mormon makes no sense. They're not supposed to drink.
Well,
I'm
the
like,
fact that she was
some Mormon? What?
it was so bad, guys. It was so bad. But this is the point we're making. I have seen in the last week TikTokers who held guns to people, tried to run them off the road, and then tried to lie about it. I have seen TikTokers and YouTubers leaving their children unattended. Kid gets out of the house, wanders around. I have
Yep.
seen some saying they're too famous to get arrested.
Yep.
These are people that see the millions of followers and suddenly believe they are bigger than they are. Yes, you're making money and you can afford nice things. You are still a nobody. Sorry.
There are still
And-
people out there who have no fucking clue who you are.
And the thing is, just like what Big T said, look, Big T and I both worked very hard for our channels. And I'm very proud of it, so I'm not letting it go. As a matter of fact, I'm planning a completely new revamp because I've been looking at it lately. The time away from editing has actually given me a good perspective on my intro, my outro, and a couple of things that I do, and I'm going to revamp all of it,
Nice.
which is great. Can't do it right now, but I
need to do
can
the same
eventually.
thing.
And so it's like, yeah, I know exactly. Like, you're looking for a while, and you're like, shit, I gotta redo all this, and that's not a problem. But that does make it a little daunting. I'm just saying, guys. What?
Esteban, remember horror. If you believe yourself to think you are a Mormon, you are a Mormon. It's just like being trans.
That's bad. That's bad.
I mean, you know how to keep a Mormon from drinking your beer, right?
How?
You bring another Mormon.
Social contagion. I love it. This is the point I'm talking about, though. It's like, you guys have to realize something, that think about, most of us are in our 30s or 40s, maybe a little lower, but generally we're all in the same age group. How many of your friends wanted to be in Hollywood or a model when we were growing up?
An
How many
actress.
wanted to be musicians? Now, how many of them
still want to be musicians?
right? And now, how many of them actually made it? Why? Because most of them didn't want to be a musician. They wanted to be on the stage.
They wanted to be
everyone
rich and
look-
famous.
And they failed because they lacked talent, and their only motivation was fame. And most of those people, drug addicts, single parents with 5 kids for 5 different people, they all are so busy chasing something, they lose themselves, and so they chase it in other ways. And so that's why I know I've pontificated on this, and
The big baby.
but that's why I'm just saying, guys, please. I'm not even a mild YouTuber. I'm a small time at best. I've got some folks that work with me, and as the No Mo Bopo, the anti-Bopo movement, together we accumulate a lot of people. I think as a whole, all of us together, if you include Michelle and not Obese to Beast, we maybe make a million or 2 followers. Good night, Big T. And so we're all pretty small, and I'm kind of happy for that because we lack a lot of ego as a group, thank God. And so that makes us easier to work together, thank God.
Ego is such a thing.
Again, think of what's her name. Think of the Trisha Paytas and what the hell's that other bitch's name? Ukulele bitch.
Oh, Miranda sings.
Miranda sings.
Oh my God, that crazy witch.
And then you got Illuminati.
Oh
and now
my
you
God,
become a
that's
tipster.
a dumpster fire.
You get all these people erupting at once.
I gotta figure out what's up with Tipster because I used to watch him.
I've actually interacted with him when I was worried about somebody,
Ooh.
and kind of glad I didn't get really too involved. But the point is, like, you know,
Bless you. Oh, she's still going. Hold on. It's like watching a silent film. Literally. You would have been an amazing silent film actress. You really would. You emote very well.
I have heard that a lot. Oh, I almost can sing again too, guys.
Yay!
I'm excited. I hate not being able to sing because usually when I wash dishes, I sing to myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot that I couldn't sing the other day. And I tried, and it hurts. When you try to sing and you can't sing. Yeah, somebody's getting in a fight behind you, lady.
Oh, and he got stuck on something or something. Oh
Was it
no,
the
his
real
big
deer
brother's
chair?
picking on him. No, it wasn't my chair again.
I've done that.
Jumping.
Zorro. And usually I know when
Fighting with the cat.
I wouldn't realize one of the dogs or cats behind me.
Is
Dog's
fighting
worse.
Benny and Bruce
But
trying to get
Zorro
in.
would often sit right behind my desk, and I'd roll back and not. I didn't sing yet, Big T. Oh, yes. I'd roll back, and I wouldn't realize Zorro was there, and I'd hear, and I'd look back, and there's like a little flat tuft of fur, because Zorro's got very thin fur, so it rips really easy.
I've done that to Rudy a couple times. He's been right under my chair, and because sometimes it was while his fur was out longer, and if you roll, oh God, and then Sydney, oh my God, Sydney, he likes. Actually, I kind of got over it with the number of times it happened. At some point, it's like, dude, figure it out. But no, Sydney will actually lay down on under the seat and rest his head on the wheel. Like the puppy has laid down in a way where you could just crush his head if you're not paying attention. These dogs, occasionally, I wonder, I think they're all suicidal.
Why are your animals like aiming to self-end themselves?
I don't know. I think I give them a really good life. Apparently, they disagree. I don't know.
You didn't give them the right kibble there, sister. They are doing a.
They want me to roll over them. I don't get it.
Oh, so this leads us into the human animal. There is this douchebag that found me through horror. Now, I don't blame her, but she told me to blame her, so I blame her.
I didn't say blame me. I said I felt like it
You're
might be my fault.
Same thing. He will every once in a while find one of my tweets and just disagree with me. There's no reason. He makes no sense. He just disagrees with me. So I found this tweet, as I'm not calling it an X, it's a tweet. Good night, Silvar. Or who's it? No, good night, Jack.
Night, Jack.
Good night, Jack. Kiss Sasquatch for us. He whatchamacallit? I released
Disagrees.
a video. This douchebag. There was a video I retweeted about douchebags in California interrupting areas where sea lions are known to sit and relax, specifically when they are giving birth. And there was hordes of people. Was it ABC that released that article? I can't remember the video.
I don't remember.
ABC, NBC, one of them. And it shows people along the rocky shore running from a very large bull seal. And it's, whatchamacallit, it even tried to bite a kid. And I said, good, stay the fuck away from the animals. If you bring your kid where there's large wildlife with sharp teeth that can bite them.
They don't even have to have fucking sharp teeth, just large wildlife. Do you know the number of people who get hit by bison because they're fucking dumb?
True. The amount of people that get gored or attacked by bison is so true. Even elk, because they go during when they're in rut, like the dumbasses. And this guy said, I said, good, stay out of animal spaces. This monocephalic moron, microcephalic, monocellular microcephalic moron. That's the words I wanted to use. It's hot, I'm thinking. And I hope he's watching because this streams on Twitter. He's like, well, humans are animals, so what's your point? And I was like, well, we know better. He said, well, we belong anywhere, so you just don't want to admit when you're wrong. And I was like, okay, are you gonna walk into your neighbor's house, plop down in the kitchen, eat their food, and then poke at their kid's nose and expect nothing to happen? He's like, well, that's not the point. You're saying it because they're animals and humans are animals. I'm like, mind you, I'm paraphrasing because this was over like 20 tweets. And he literally was like, you just can't admit when you're wrong. I'm like, right. That's what it is. Actually, I'm so annoyed. Let me see if I can get it up. But, Horror, what say you about these situations?
Yeah, the same thing as
Someone, what?
no. I'm wanting him to show what he's wearing the puppy as a hat. Thank
A
you.
puppy hat is an excellent thing, especially when the puppy's still alive. Very anti-Cruella.
Yeah, well, we could sew them all together. See how well that works.
Depending on the day.
Yeah, but no. My thoughts the same thing as it was when we talked about it. Is it's literally the same. How can you be upset at the animals when the people are going directly into the animal's home and pissing the animals off?
Well, see, that's the thing.
You deserve to be bit at that point.
Right. He couldn't answer that part to me. Just kept saying how wrong I was.
It's just like if you come into my house without my permission. And I'm going to put this out there for anybody who thinks about stalking. If you come into my house and we don't know you're coming and you haven't been invited, you may be shot.
Click, click.
That's just
the last thing you'll hear.
I live in Montana. It's allowed.
I'm looking for the tweet now. Here it is. Let me go all the way back up. So I wrote good, and I hope I hope they bit a few of them too. Stop interloping on animals' territory. Humans are animals too. So there goes that argument. I said, nope, doesn't. We know better. How then does your argument exist when I just undercut the entire premises?
To be fair, other animals know better too, but they actually, they just then don't do it.
Are you saying humans aren't animals? Are we plants, insects, birds, fish, invertebrates, amoeba, minerals?
All of the above.
I said, there is no point made. What you tried was retarded. Those are wild animals. And just as you wouldn't cart your ass into your neighbor's kitchen, plop down, and poke their kids in the face, don't do it to wild animals. Thank you. Next. He said, yeah, we're at the top of the food chain for a reason. And no one was harmed. For all we know, they were simply curious.
That's not a good reason.
It's not a good reason at all. I said, once again, let me ask you, how often are you marching into your neighbor's house and rummaging through their things? Just out of curiosity. Social order doesn't make us any less of an animal. It just makes us think we're better. Just like social animals such as wolves. If times get tough enough, social order goes out the window. So you see what he's trying to do.
No, it makes absolutely no sense. I'll be honest.
He is trying to goalpost move and change the subject so that way I realize how stupid I am, how intelligent he is. I said, dude, you're trying super hard to be contrarian because for some reason you have a hair across your ass about anything I tweet. You aren't making any points and nothing you're saying changes what I said or the fact that I'm right. So I don't know why you're here, but you look dumb. He said, declaring your opinions to facts shows you're wrong, but incapable of admitting it. He said, I'm glad you can admit when you're wrong. He said, it's a shame you can't. I said, can't admit when you're wrong? I said it several times, and he hasn't answered since. As you can see, that's how I respond when someone pisses me off. But this is the point I'm making. These are the kind of people that I deal with. Right. I like how everyone, because here's the thing. Normally I'd say, well, my audience, they're going to be biased to me, but my audience throws me under the bus all the time. You guys trash me whenever you can. But that means that when I'm right, you back me up. So, notice how everyone's like, wow, this guy's dumb. Yeah, let's see. What do they say? People are dumb.
Yep.
Crocodiles still eat them.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm just making sure everyone can see that at least my followers, unlike this douchebag, are intelligent. You want to find out what wild animals do? Go dive into a crocodile pit. I'll dance at the funeral.
We may be the top of the food chain, but we are still real easy to get rid of if they choose to.
Really?
There are all sorts of videos of people being taught that in the wild. The national parks. Oh my god. You know when park season has started, when you start seeing the videos of people fucking with bear cubs and
Any idiot that walks up to a bear cub. Did I show you guys the video of that bear? I don't have it now. Of a bear that got too close to moose calves.
oh, I don't know if we watched that last week or if you just shared it on Twitter, but I remember.
But the bear was running for its life.
You don't fuck with a moose.
Not willingly. Mm-mm. No, it's just this is what I'm talking about though, because people, it feels like lately we reached a little impasse where before people on our side, the more I'm Republican, center, independent, the people on our side were pretty reasonable. The left pushed so much that now we're starting to get real stupid. We're starting to get almost intolerant like they claimed we were. But the problem is they've pushed us so far. And I'm seeing it with animals. Now a lot of people are going back to thinking it's cool to hate animals. And it's dumb to love them. And they're going back to hating anyone that prioritizes animals and loves them and takes care of them. It's ridiculous.
Humans
It's a
are
lot
dumb.
of shit happening. I just had to complain about that. Let's see. She is. She not wrong. Rule 1. You see a baby, walk through it because mama will get a murder charge. Speaking of babies, Pearl's at it again, but not her technically. Pearl posted a photo the other day. Her sister clipped a fawn. And instead of calling the wildlife sanctuary, they put the deer in the car and drove off with it. I don't know what became of the deer because it's Pearl.
Oh my god.
But I'm going to tell you something. If you think you can raise a deer, if you think you can save a deer, you can't do it. Don't do it. Don't try. Call a professional. I cannot save a deer. She cannot save a deer. We're the animal people. We wouldn't try. Do you know why? Deer have specialized diets. They require specialized food. Almost all, is it ungulates? Are they ungulates, I think?
Yeah.
I want to say they're ungulates. Almost all hooved equine type animals require special care. And deer especially require special vitamins and minerals.
Yep.
And round the clock care. And that's why you gotta call a pro. Because if you keep that baby for even a few days,
It's dead.
even if you get it to a professional after those few days, you might cause irreversible damage and it'll still die.
Yep.
They are the giraffes of the forest. They get fucked up easily. I need to find out now what sect of animal or deer. Because I feel like it is ungulates, but I want to make sure I'm right.
You're right, Silver. That type of stuff really irritates me. Identity politics in general piss me off. I don't care which identity you're. This isn't about people's identity, but that's a different thing.
Cervids.
Pearl's an idiot. That's who. Pearl's one of the 3 people I've blocked on, or not blocked, but muted on Twitter.
You muted her.
Yeah, I've muted Pearl. I've muted Andrew Tate, and I had to mute Nina Turner because she was really just irritating me.
Who?
Nina Turner. She's a socialist. That's the best way to describe it. Keeps talking about why we need universal health care and how minimum wage should be $25 an hour and all sorts of other dumb things.
So I was wrong. I can't remember what an ungulate is. I just know that that's a word I've been hearing lately about animals. So this is where I have a hard time remembering the Latin order, but they're in the family Cervidae, and their suborder is Ruminanti, and they're rumatids or ruminoids. I know it's a rumin something, and that is because they are cud chewing. And they lack a gallbladder. And the problem
Apparently,
is
it's just a hoofed animal.
huh?
An ungulate is a hoofed animal. The term roughly means being hoofed or hoofed animal.
How do you spell it?
Ungulate.
What is an ungulate? A hoofed mammal. Okay, I was right.
Mhm.
I was right about something. You know,
Though, hold on.
our deer's ungulate.
Because it's saying. No, those are.
Considered a.
Yeah, sheep, deer,
I was right.
odd-toed,
Okay.
and they're an even-toed ungulate.
All right, good. I'm not crazy. Hey,
I mean, you are, but
Term.
that has nothing to do with the situation.
Listen, praise me. I remember the proper term. me did. Anyways, so you got to realize something. Let me see. I now want to remember. Oh, I am starting to feel it. I might have to close this off early for myself at least. Specialized diet for fawn. What do fawns eat?
Then there's a whole question: was the fawn old enough to be away from its mother? Did it need more milk?
Fawns eat exclusively mother's milk for the first 2 weeks of their life. They are
Okay.
herbivores and once weaned will eat primarily leaves, twigs, and other greens. Fawns weigh between 4 to 8 pounds at birth. By drinking only mother's milk, which is rich in fat, sugar, and protein, they double weight for the first 2 weeks of life. After 1 month, they will have tripled their birth weight.
Excuse you.
Thank you. Once they're a couple weeks old, they start nibbling on tender grasses and new shoots, but not enough, but just enough to get their ruminant, the fourth part of their stomach, started. Because that's the main thing. You guys have to realize something. What they're eating starts the biome in their stomach. That's what I was trying to remember. If their biome gets fucked up, they start to rot from the inside.
Same thing happens to horses and cows. Anything with more than one stomach, their diet has to be very carefully regulated so that they have the correct types of what's that stuff called? No.
Microbacteria.
Yeah,
Their
in their
pH,
stomachs.
Right? Whatchamacalls it? They require mother's milk, grasses, leaves, twigs, sedges, forbs, shrubs, trees, young roots and tubers, berries, fruit, and during the winter, lichen and fungi. And sometimes they even have to eat bones and meat.
Yep. No, there's a fun video out there of a deer eating a snake that really freaks people out. But if they're desperate for certain nutrients, then they'll do it.
And so this is why I'm telling you guys, it is beautiful to see somebody who is a rescuer, but and to want to imitate that as well. But again, this is the one bad thing about the internet is you got a lot of people that see someone else doing it, and because that person is good at it, they make it look easy. These are animals that are not bred, designed, or raised to be with humans. You cannot treat them as such. You have to treat them as if they are what they are. If you try to play savior, you'll end up killing it. With a dog and a cat, it's a little easier because shit's on the shelf. But these are things that you have to go to a vet or a tractor supply for, and then you got to kind of concoct it yourself.
Yep.
And I just use my princess powers. No, you use your farm powers.
And then people don't realize because dogs and cats have been with humans for so long, they've actually adapted to the stuff that we tend to feed them anyway. So you shouldn't give your dog a huge amount of legumes or anything, but they are okay having some amount in their diet because their bodies have to some degree adapted to it.
Right. And
But-
they're also they're able to switch between pure carnivore and being able to scavenge when need be.
Yeah.
So this is where you get that luck that you have these animals that can scavenge and that can do all these things. And that's great. But even then, if you want your dog to survive, you can't be. I mean, we just had, you want to talk about the human animal. This vegan person that was a major social media person just died. I just got sent the link actually by my former vegan friend. Let me get it up. I'm gonna copy.
Soon I will teach them to use domestic chores.
I know, right? I think very soon I'm going to have to get off though, guys, because I do not want a relapse of that illness whatsoever.
No.
Thank you, no siree, Bob. It's just because, again, thanks.
Pigs are immune to diabetes. It's interesting.
I mean, they're not completely immune. I've heard of pigs having diabetes.
It's got to be a rare occurrence, though.
I would imagine so. So you can
Yeah, I would imagine one whole cherry pie for one pig wouldn't immediately cause diabetes. So I don't know that I'd recommend feeding it like a lifetime of cherry pies.
I certainly wouldn't. Let me share the. First, let me make sure nothing comes up on here that's personal, because I never know. Okay.
So glad that song that had the talking in it stopped. I kept thinking someone was calling my name.
Oh, I got rid of that. It technically exists. Or was there one today? Because I got rid of.
Oh, there was one today. It was playing earlier.
I didn't even hear it. Of course, I don't have headphones on. That's why.
You were ranting.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Ranting? So this girl passed away. She passed. Look at this. She almost entirely ate durian and jackfruit.
Mm.
And she died of starvation.
Isn't durian and jackfruit the same thing?
No, they're two different things. So there's spiky jackfruit has more of a fibrous kind of thing, and durian's more of a.
I just know durian smells.
It smells like feet and farts. But look at this. I mean, I want you to cover her face and look at her body and tell me what age you think she is.
Oh my, age doesn't matter in this case.
But I want to say it for a reason. Like, cover her face with your hand and look at her and think that is a woman in her 20s. Does that look like the body of a woman in her 20s?
No, she looks like she's been starving to death.
Exactly.
Oh wait, she was.
Oh wait, that's exactly what she was. This is why when people say go vegan, she was eating on a raw diet.
I mean, you can go vegan, but you really have to. You have to watch it.
And this is, you can, but almost nobody stays vegan because it's just so unhealthy. Now, this is an extreme case, yes, but I mean, this woman literally, she ate food every day. Look at how skeletal she was.
Because she doesn't have the fats to build for her muscles.
And on top of that, she had legs that were swollen, oozing lymph nodes. Because her body lacked, look at this. Look at how bruised her feet are. Low iron.
Yeah, you have to take a lot of supplements, Star.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, this is something where, like, I want to invest. This is what I want to talk about last week. I don't know if I told you guys last week, but Isaac Butterfield came out with a brand of beef jerky called Fuck Vegans.
Yeah, you told us about that.
Yeah, I want some. And it's just like, these are the situations. She went into ketoacidosis. No, she literally died of
She starved to death.
She starved to death, guys. Like, there is
no
fun way of saying it.
Yeah.
Like the only thing healthy about her was the skin on her face and her hair. And that gaslit her own brain into thinking she was okay.
I'll be honest,
Literally,
her hair doesn't look that healthy either.
it lacks any shine. It is not tangled and it is long, but notice how it lacks shine.
And it's kind of brittle. You can tell it's a little brittle.
Even though she could grow it, she wasn't healthy. And that's where I tell people, never enter into a diet on your own thinking you're okay, because think about it. She was swelling, full of infection, lacked any body fat whatsoever, weak, bruising, brittle, tired, looking haggard. Family and friends said she constantly looked exhausted. And she gaslit herself into thinking, well, the skin on my face is nice. And my hair isn't falling out. Clearly, I'm fine.
It's the same thing someone with anorexia or another ED would do to themselves.
Mm-hmm. And they did. Again, go back to whatchamacallit, what's her name? Lexi Nimmo on Dr. Phil. Lexi Nimmo said, well, when I was thin, I was unhealthy and I had this problem, that problem. And Dr. Phil said, yeah, you had an ED. You were starving yourself. And she had nothing to say to that. She goes, it's not the same thing. Yes, it is. You were still sick. You were just a different kind of sick. Yes, your body's a little healthier now because you're not in constant starvation, because you're not purging, because you're not doing any of these disgusting things to yourself, but you're unhealthy in different ways now.
She went from one ED to another type of ED. I mean, and that's the thing is when someone looks at a obese, fat person, overweight person and says, oh, they don't have an ED, that's kind of going to get us into a problem because they do. They just have a different type. An ED doesn't necessarily mean that you're so skinny that there's nothing to you. It means that you have an unhealthy relationship with food and how you consume and view food.
Mhm.
So what doesn't matter if you're skinny, doesn't matter if you're fat. It's still the same thing and it needs to be treated as such.
Remember, the word is disorder. I'm trying very hard not to say them together.
Yeah.
But it means you are disordered. What that means is there is no order to it. It means that you have uncontrollable needs, whether it is to get rid of or consume the food, whether it is to eat it in certain amounts or in lesser amounts. No matter what, if you have lack of willpower over how you eat, no matter what way that is, you have a disorder. And that's the thing. I know that when I am eating, I can control exactly what I want. I can control what I'm going to eat, and I can control the amount. And I have the self-control to be like, I don't need it.
Sometimes you don't exercise that self-control, but
Huh?
occasionally you don't exercise that self-control, but that's a separate issue.
Listen, every once in a while, you're allowed to have a break. We're not saying you have to be completely regimented the whole time.
No.
Everyone is going to have a weak point, but what we're talking about is on the daily basis, if you are rejecting or overly welcoming too much of nutrient, we'll put it at that. I'm trying to be as coded as possible for this damn app. Whichever way you go, unless you have an ordered way of doing it, which is 3 square a day with the proper amount of calories and the proper amount of nutrients, and you aren't,
I would disagree with it has to be 3 square.
You know what I mean?
It can be individualized. So, but
there are certain people, like there's this model I'm gonna do a video on. This girl's like 6'3".
Holy shit!
And she only eats all of her calories, which are 3,800. She has to, because again, she's a lot taller than most of us, and she does a lot of exercise, but she eats it all in healthy fat. So all of her food is grass-fed. All of her food is from Amish people. It is free range, lacks almost any problems. I'm gonna see if I can look her up really quick. Let me see. I really enjoy her content. I'm gonna do a video on her, but she'll eat in like within 3 hours 3 or 4 hours of the day, she consumes all of her food.
Wow.
But she's not eating unhealthy.
Right.
She lives a healthy, balanced diet. Damn, my voice is getting really...
Yeah, you probably
I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I can hear it and feel it.
I can hear you getting a little...
Yeah, rough. Getting rough, man.
But it's like, I know for me, my optimal eating habit is eating breakfast and eating dinner.
This girl. Liz Seibert.
Oh, wow. She's huge.
I mean,
tall.
Yeah, like... So, let me see if I can get her up on YouTube.
What if I'm on the Hobbit schedule? You know, you can be on the Hobbit schedule. You just have to eat slightly smaller meals.
Right, just be smart about it, guys. This is the main thing. You can't be an idiot about it.
Yeah, it's just like right now, I think I have to go back to counting my calories for a week or two to make sure I'm not overindulging myself.
So the thing is, and even Michelle said it, you can think all you want that you're doing it right. Michelle is a body trainer, okay? She's an exercise coach. She runs an entire Facebook page on coaching people how to lose weight. And even she realized she was overeating. So don't sit there and think that it's just you. And it may only be by a couple hundred calories, but guess how I got to where I am? For the first 150 extra pounds, that happened over a long time of me eating home-cooked food, but it was an extra 100 calories here a day, maybe 300 extra a day here. Like, it was just boom, boom, boom. Let me get
Serving size never. But I mean, I've watched Michelle's stuff, and she kind of went both directions. She went unhealthy the one way and then flipped the other way. And I watched her, what she does in terms of measuring out her food. I don't think I could do that.
No, she's very anal about it. But like, look right here, okay?
Food recommendations for gaining weight. I got you. Now listen, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a dietitian, but I did gain about 25 pounds in 3 months, so I can tell you what worked for me. Heavy cream. I buy it by the half gallon. I put 5 to 10 ounces of this in my coffee. It's anywhere in between 500 and 1,000 calories just in the coffee. Cheddar
Holy
cheese
shit.
is so delicious. Eat it as a snack, eat it with fruit. Butter, cook everything in so much butter. I really, really like dairy products for gaining
Wait,
weight
this sounds
because I
like my
consume so
diet.
much dairy. I try to get it from a good high quality source, but you just do what you can afford. Okay, I just ran out of avocados, but make avocado toast. Guacamole, put it on your salmon. Salmon is another really good one. It's high fat, high protein. Nut butters, if you want to go for a more plant-based option. Eggs, and make them with a lot of butter and cheese. Also steaks, bacon. I could literally sit here and eat this entire pack if I wanted to. Okay. I hope this is helpful. Food recommendation.
Like, oh no, I don't want to do that. Stop. Lady, stop. Obviously she can't hear me. But
that sounded like my diet.
show when here it is.
Let me show you exactly what $450 can buy you from an Amish farm. My foster dog really wanted to come with me to pick up our order this week. He literally put his leash in his mouth. We just found out that he's probably getting adopted soon, so I'm trying to spend as much time with him as I possibly can. So I put him in the back seat and we went and drove to the house together. Unfortunately, this is not the actual Amish farmhouse. They deliver to a few houses in certain areas and then everyone goes to those houses and picks up their order. So look at how good Zeppelin is being. Like, he used to be so crazy when we first got him. Look at that sit. Okay. Anyways, I know that $500 seems like a lot, but when you break it down, it's actually not too bad.
The thing that we spend the most money on is the pet food. The dog that we're fostering has really bad IBS. The raw food that they make cured his IBS, cured his anxiety. $150 every 2 weeks. 6 pounds of butter.
But notice there how healthy dog food can cure a lot of problems for your dog. I can
kind of wishing they could make butter.
Right? Look at all this cheese she gets, though. Look at this butter. If you can find a local Amish store and you can invest in it, look at all this high quality food. And she eats a lot of this to balance, because this woman used to have crippling depression. She used to have skin problems. She used to have mental problems. She used to have all these issues, and literally just changing her diet to a high fat, primarily animal based, protein based diet with good macro and micros changed all for her. Now, granted, she is under doctor supervision. She is under professional nutritionists. This is how good food can change you. So don't listen to these bullshit artists that sit there and say, there's no such thing as bad food. Listen to this bitch.
If you can't get to the Amish colony and you happen to live in an area that has Hutterites, check
Mhm.
them out. They're basically the same, but they use more, electricity and stuff. So
Right. Well, I want to think this. I have fallen in love with this girl. Seriously, have.
8 pounds of it. We go through a lot of heavy cream. At the moment, I'm still not drinking any milk because I'm still trying to heal my gut. Then we just get our probiotics. Kefir, yogurt. This will last us 2 weeks. I mean, that is beautiful.
Let me show you exactly what 400
that'll only last 2 weeks. That would last me more than 2 weeks.
Oh, I know. For normal people it would, but don't forget. So this girl, so she's very tall. Let's see.
Very tall.
This is take 3 of trying to find a maxi dress that actually goes all the way down my 6-foot-tall body. In my years of searching, okay, I have never found a maxi dress that goes all the way down on me. So many people told me to try out Long Tall Sally. It's the only brand that I've ever bought from that their entire brand is dedicated to tall people. Wait, why is the tag in the front? The tag is right there. Am I doing
She's
something
a professional model, by the way, guys.
wrong? I feel like that's going to be a bit uncomfortable, but moment of truth. What the hell?
That's not
I
right.
did something wrong. That's how it's supposed to look. What the hell did I do?
It's supposed to cross in the back.
Okay,
There you
no,
go.
this is it. Stop. Why am I actually emotional? Look at the back. Are you actually kidding me? I actually can't believe this. It is stunning. And it fits me like a glove. Oh my god. This is take 3 of
That's kind of one of the videos that made me fall in love with her because it was like her Disney princess moment. And she just was so happy. I know how that feels when you get clothing that actually works for you. It is important. But again, what I found her for was her food and how she fixed her diet. And that's what made me really want to do a video about her. Most of her stuff is shorts, figuring out, I think it's when she ate brains.
Oh, no
I
thanks.
have a brain in here. I want to open it together because I have been putting this off for a very long time. Out of all of the organs, brain is just the hardest for me. Something about the texture. It tastes like nothing. Oh my god, please. Why is it so juicy? This is a veal brain, so it's gonna be a lot bigger. Last time I did lamb brain, they're small, like they're not big. This one I think is gonna be a little bit more gnarly. Oh my god. It's like leaking. Oh, I can do this.
I can't do brain juice. Nope.
I'm like,
I don't think I could. The organs that I know I will never be able to do, like tripe, intestine.
Nope.
None of those. And I definitely think brain. Livers I can do all day,
I can't do liver.
especially chicken liver fried, bro. And I think I can do like liver in a ravioli, but I just every
I
time
just don't like organs.
right. Offal is fantastic. I think if I had it ground up and I didn't know what it was, like super fine ground paste with lots of cheese, I'd be okay.
Maybe.
okay, here's the brain. Actually, that's really not too bad. Ooh, it does not smell good. Here's the finished product.
Well, apparently, also in order to eat brain, you got to boil it first, and
I don't
then
know.
you can utilize it because you got to get rid of anything that might be in it. But again, so you can see, like, she'll buy a goose egg compared to a chicken egg. Like, it's just all over. I just really enjoy her, guys. And I think if you're someone that is needing inspiration to take over your diet in a healthy way, that's why I really want to do a video on her. She is definitely someone to look at. And again, tongue, another one I know I couldn't do.
At
But
some
this
point
is-
becomes a texture issue for me though. So
It's just the fact that I know that there was spit on it at one point.
you see that part I can deal with. It's a texture issue. It's very chewy and liver. It's the
You're
same
supposed to
thing.
eat it first. You're supposed to like really tenderize tongue.
It's still just it doesn't hit. It's like liver. Liver's kind of gritty and I have texture issues.
I have pig tongue sitting in my freezer for the dogs. And I just haven't, because I don't know if I'm allowed to give it to them raw or not.
That's what Google's for.
I know, but then I still don't trust it half the time. But anyways, so it's been sitting in my freezer for the dogs. I try to buy
I think if you dry it out, it's better.
Probably, but my dehydrator's fucked up. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna call it a night because I do not want to run any risks, and I'm starting to feel it. But getting yourself in a proper diet, and like she said, her dog is special needs than when she's fostering. The dog has neurological issues. The reason why he has his name, I forgot what she called him. But the reason why he has that name, Zephyr, is because he's kind of like a little air balloon. He's like, and he has problems. He also had severe bowel issues. She got him on this expensive food, and now almost all his problems are gone. And it's the same thing with people. If you eat a proper diet, you will be fine. Because the thing is, this is going to sound so conspiracy theorist. What a lot of these companies, I just said it earlier today, okay? So you want Starson controversy? You want what can actually get me canceled? I've talked about it before. You don't need to bathe every day.
Mm-mm.
And a lot of people get mad at me when I say that. I'm like, you don't.
I see so many people getting upset about that. You don't. It's bad for you, really. It dries out your skin. It washes off your natural oils. It's the same thing with your hair. You don't need to wash your hair every day. It's bad for your scalp. It's not good for you. It really isn't. Now,
go ahead.
I was going to say, now you shouldn't let yourself get stinky, but when you go from bathing every day to taking a longer period between them, then you do have a period where you're going to be a little stinkier than normal while your body readjusts to having its natural
powder helps cornstarch.
That and or if you've got some other issues, lady monkey butt.
Here's what I will tell you. One, so Rachel beat me to it.
Yes.
The only time you need to bathe every day is if you are doing heavy labor and working in a lot of dirty environments. So if you're doing something that's dirty, yes, you have to bathe daily. But if you are just like me, well, before I worked in the restaurant, but if you're like someone like Horror who works in an office, where you're not running around a lot, you're not getting a lot of excess skin, you're not sweating a lot. All you're doing is stripping your natural pH, your biome, your oils. And the thing is, there's a reason why they push for you to do it every day. They create the problem, and then they sell you the solution.
If you want to know why I look so young, one of the reasons is that I don't wash every day. I might moisturize if I need it, but I only use soap when I need to.
Exactly. I will wash 2 to 3 times a week. And during the winter, primarily 2. Because I do not want to. And if I don't go anywhere and I don't do anything, sometimes I knock it down to 1, depending on how my scalp is. And here's why. I used to bathe every day. Hot shower every day. For years. My skin, my scalp, my undercarriage, everything would crack and bleed so easy. I still get irritated when you do this too long, but before, you couldn't do it at all.
Yep.
I would get easily irritated. Bath and Body Works is terrible for you.
Yeah.
The thing is, it is wonderful to smell, and I will still indulge in it once in a while because it smells nice. But beyond that, good night, Raven.
Good night, Raven.
The only time you need to bathe, like, yes, wash your face every day, but
no, wash your face as your skin needs it.
You have to re-moisturize immediately afterwards.
Yeah.
And that's primarily, again, are you going out in the sun a lot? Do you have eczema and psoriasis? And I didn't even need to do this until my psoriasis got worse as I got older. And then it started to cause a painful buildup. So the thing is, again, you have to stop listening to these cookie cutter solutions. Because if you listen to these cookie cutter solutions, yes, city water again, but parabens, waxes, phosphates, sulfates, a lot of these things are in all of these store-bought. Look at the ingredients on the back of the label of what you wash every day in. You're going to see dyes. You're going to see different chemicals. If you want to see if we're lying, go ahead and take a week. Take a week to follow what we're saying.
You probably want to give it about a month because that first
I
week's
agree.
going to be your body readjusting to being not.
But-
It's like when I first stopped bathing as much because I have eczema, and bathing so much did cause me to break out. It's just like I don't like to do the dishes because the water and soap on my hands, even in gloves, causes me issues.
Right. That's why my
So-
hands don't break out anymore,
Mhm.
because I don't bathe every day. My hands used to crack so easy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like in between here,
Yep,
look at
down
my
here.
hands. And that's why my hands, frankly, look as wrinkled as they do because of eczema and psoriasis. But look at my hands. If I didn't tell you, you wouldn't know. My knuckles used to crack open easy.
It was up here by my nails was the worst.
Yes.
Break
Nail bed.
open and ooze crud.
Look at my
Thankfully
nail
not
bed.
a thing anymore.
You would never know I have eczema and psoriasis because I take care of my skin properly. And it isn't even that much effort involved.
It's actually less watching.
right.
So much
less
less effort.
less product. But it's just like with these food industries. They create the problem, and then the pharmaceuticals, who are all in bed with each other, then sell you the solution.
Yep.
And so that's why I tell everybody, you have to start paying attention to yourself and what you eat and what you put on your skin and what, you got to realize there's fluoride, there's chlorine, because the reason why our water is safe to drink is because they have to pump it with a lot of chemicals. And the further down south you are, the
Worse.
worse the chemicals have to be. The water here in my town and most of my state smells like a straight ass pool because they have to shock it so hard just so it's safe for you to have. So my water is well water, so it's much safer, and it comes with a filter in the well. But city water has to pass through miles and miles of pipes and everything else, and it gets warmed up in all these different things. And so this is why I tell everybody, you have to stop. And the thing is, it is a social thing. We shame people into believing they got to do certain things, and then we make fun of them, because I know it's a lot of people. They're like, "Oh, you stink." Get used to actually taking care of your body. So, like, if you use cornstarch on your body more often, until I told people, no one knew.
Yep.
And it wasn't like they brought up the conversation. It was like, I would go, "Hey, did you know?" And they'd be like, "Well, that's not you." And I'm like, "Oh, actually, yeah, it is."
Totally me.
And people never know. The only time they knew at all was this last week, because it's nasty out, and I was doing dishes. It's 90 freaking degrees, and someone was like, "Girl, you stink today." And I was like, "Leave me alone. It's hot, and I'm washing dishes." Because it got nasty in the back. Ugh. Matter of fact, I'm taking another one tonight thanks to all this
Yeah.
issue with the AC. But the
Yeah.
point is if you are regimented and keeping yourself clean, taking care of your excess skin, which, by the way, your excess skin is what causes the nasty smell. You will know if you have dead skin. There's a really easy way to do it. Wet part of either your shoulder or your arm or your thigh, and then just rub. And if the skin starts to pill up, get little pills of dead skin,
You need to exfoliate.
you need to exfoliate. Exfoliation, when you do bathe, is the key to keeping smells away, because
Yep.
that's how you truly get clean. Buildup of dead skin is what causes nasty bacteria, nasty smells, and allowing your skin in closed areas, which is why so many fat people stink, by
And
the
they
way.
don't clean in them. Mm.
They don't clean and powder their folds, which is one of the most important things you should be doing. No matter who you are, it's okay to stink for a day, right? Like, the thing is, you have to take care of your body, and you can't just expect to wash it away.
Nope.
Because it's why some people have skin issues and all these different problems. Being careful, being conscious of how you smell is quite easy to take care of. Cornstarch is cheap, easy to come by, You just put it where the skin meets, powder yourself in your folds, keep your undercarriage nice and dry, and obviously clean every few days, and you'll be fine.
Your
But if
mother was very
you're gonna
smart.
get real stink, as a kid, my mom taught us to scrub our skin to get rid of dead skin. Right, exactly. And you can get soaps from different natural soap stores that have sand or seeds on it, or coffee grounds, which are natural exfoliants. Don't get the plastic exfoliants. Get
Apricot
the ones that
scrubs
are
are nice.
natural. That's what I use. I like using dried orange peels or lemon peels, coffee, sand, fig seeds are fantastic. And that's what all my soap has. See, now that I'm talking about showering, now I'm getting itchy.
I just took a long bath and a nice shower this morning, so
I'm planning on doing a little spa night tonight because I have meetings tomorrow anyways. It's been a long week. But yeah. So
yeah,
I'm
it
gonna
is
leave
crazy.
you guys. Yep, people don't know about it, Primal, because let me put your things up on the screen so people see it. People don't know about this stuff for the main reason being people are shamed by societal standards. And the thing is, I understand that I'm going to get shamed for this. I don't care. I'm not going to make my skin in pain and unhealthy so you can feel I'm not a stank white bitch, which is what I hear. It's because you're a stanky white porch monkey or whatever the hell they call white people these days. And
Depends on bleach demon.
yeah, white demon or
No, bleach demon.
Neosynth,
That's a fun
whatever the
one.
hell you call us. I will tell you,
Snow roach.
snow roach. That's right, they do call us snow roaches.
Oh yeah,
They call us
whiteout.
There's a lot of them.
There's a long there. Have been on a number of streams with other friends that we've gone through the list. There's some entertaining stuff in there.
Chicago. Please tell me you know what Chicago is. I can't play it because it's from a movie. But I need you. I need you all. You're gonna get why I'm saying Chicago. I want you to look that up when you get off this stream.
Oh, is it Ace Ventura? Okay,
I fucking
it's
love
been a
it.
long time since I've watched him.
Oh my god. It's one of my favorite scenes when he's running with Chicago.
Yeah.
Saltine cracker, yes, that's true.
Yep.
But anyways,
Okay.
pet detective too. Be smart about your health. Talk to a dermatologist. Listen, Rachel, if it was an animal movie, I found a way to watch it. Especially if it was a comedy. Once I heard about Marley and Me, like the last sad animal movie I watched was the Homeward Bound series, I think.
Really?
I don't like sad animal films. I wouldn't watch Marley and Me.
Well, the first one wasn't sad.
It
I didn't
died.
watch any of the others. Of Homeward Bound?
Oh, there was like 3 more. There was 2 or
Yeah,
3.
no, I only ever watched the first one.
Chance.
Milo and Otis is great.
Girlfriend. I think they had puppies. Something like that. Sassy didn't find anybody. But
Well, Sassy was a cat.
she wandered too. But anyways, Homeward Bound is sad because they almost all died. You understand? That was the closest to sad that I got. But the point is, don't let other people gaslight you into thinking that what you do is wrong purely because they feel it's wrong when you know how healthier your body is and not like that vegan.
Not the crazy way.
Right. If you've got open sores, if you're easily exhausted, I don't have to go over all this. I've done it in different videos. I've talked about it. We've talked about it. If your bowels are moving right, if your sleep cycle is proper, if your skin isn't cracking open, and if you ain't stank every day and your hair isn't brittle and falling out, then you're healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly. But if you've got to constantly fight the wick at both ends, like I take a shower daily, but then I constantly have to moisturize, and I've got to take this supplement so my scalp doesn't hurt, and I've got to put this on or else it's gonna hurt. All these different things, and you don't have an actual skin condition already, like we do. Something wrong.
Yep.
You got to fix it. But that's all I'd say about everything today, guys. Har, why don't you take us out? All your beats.
Well, for those who are interested, I'm going to be involved in a rather serious stream tomorrow. My friend Wookie B Bad and Static 2020 and a lawyer friend of theirs, we're going to have a psychological based conversation on maps, to be specific.
Make sure you bring your cartography. Okay? I need you to remember cartography on Twitter. Because cartography is the professional term for people who draw maps.
Not that kind of map.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
Go on Twitter and you type in cartography tweets or twit or whatever. It does lead you to those kinds of maps.
Really?
To kids that are drawing in maps. So, and when I showed it to someone else, they said it was a nothing burger. I'm like, this is a nothing burger to you? These are kids advertising to get paid to send maps. CP.
Well, the one guy we're talking about, the guy we're talking to is actually a prosecutor in Florida who's dealt with these cases. So
That's the thing, if he wants to look into anything like that. Also, apparently, there's a thing on Facebook right now where if you type in chicken soup, due to a language barrier, it says it's blocked for CP.
Interesting.
Because if you, it's a code, because in another language, chicken soup is the letters for CP.
Oh.
And so that's how it leads back. Starman told me about it, and I was like, in one hand, that's clever, just like the cartography thing. I'm like, I have to give it to them. That is clever. On the other hand,
I'm not happy with why you're being clever.
Fucking ew. But I give props to cleverness. But yeah. So that's something for you to bring up tomorrow.
Okay, yeah. So, but we're doing that. That'll be at what was it? 7:30 p.m. on his channel here on Rumble only. Forestry destruction devices are. Yeah, but this is going to be a clinical discussion, so don't expect it to be all about anger, and there may be some points made that you might not feel entirely comfortable with, because no matter what you think, they're people, unfortunately.
The problem is that with a conversation like this, there's going to be a lot of emotion involved.
There always
I am
is.
one of the people that does not care about if they're people or not. I'll have the conversation, but at the end of the day,
well, I was invited because apparently I'm a well-reasoned person or something like that. I don't understand quite why I was invited, but I was invited. So I feel it is an important conversation to have. So
I think it'll be very important. I think no matter what, uncomfortable conversations have to be had.
Oh yeah.
We don't have them enough these days.
No, and that's a big problem.
We as a society.
Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of problems that could be solved if we talk about them more. Sometimes having the conversation means you have to talk about the extremes of either side of the conversation. And talking about the extremes gets you to the middle where everybody is much more content. So that's what I'm doing tomorrow. Wednesday, I will not be on the midweek hump. She will, however, be on the midweek hump. And
Yeah,
midweek hump. I know. My mouth doesn't work half the time. My brain's gone. I've given up on it. It's just Thursday, I'm going to start playing Baldur's Gate 3 on YouTube and Rumble, and potentially Kick if I can get it to start working again. I have to sign into it on this computer, and I wasn't having much luck. I hate switching computers.
You're like,
I
it's
love
not
my
for me.
new computer. It's so annoying.
That's the one part I hate about switching any technological device is having to go from one to the other.
Yeah. Oh, it's like I can't get into my PayPal account unless I get my old phone because I can't figure out how to get the security key to work on my new phone.
It's why I don't have Twitter on here. Oh, and I now can't get into the new TikTok that I made.
Oh no.
I have in it. So now I'm waiting for them to tell. It's the whole thing. So I don't know if it's an old person thing or if it's just that switching anything just gets really annoying.
I am not gonna fuck any bears for the record. It's a thing that came up in the game.
I know.
I'm
I
an
was
animal lover,
torturing
not that
kids
kind of
with
lover.
that.
I'm not into zoophilia either. Oh my
I was
God.
one of the many that was tagging sugar tits in that. I was like, and I'll do it again. But
Honestly, I'm half tempted to do it just because I'm pretty sure it was a very tongue-in-cheek way they did it.
have you watched the scene?
I've watched most of it. I watched all the way up to the point where that squirrel looks really scarred.
That's the scene. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so this is my theory on it, is that it is in fact just a really tongue-in-cheek thing they did, knowing that people would try to do that.
It is, but at the same time, I hate that they even had to. It's gross to me that they even had to do it.
Yeah,
but
well,
at the same
people are
time,
fucked
you know
up.
me. I think if I was a game developer and I was having a really goofy night,
Probably do it.
I'd probably include something like that too.
Yeah.
So I'm at a hard. I think in today's climate, they shouldn't have involved it. I think it should be like 10 years ago they should have done it. Now it's the wrong time to do that thing.
You see, I
'Cause
don't
now
believe there's
it's
ever a
broken
wrong
more
time
reality.
to really do that. I don't think there's ever a wrong time to really do that because you're going to piss somebody off no matter when you do it. So
I agree, but I think it's just it would have been more funny. The problem is now because it's becoming more of a reality for a lot of people.
and I think that's another reason to do it is because people need to get over themselves sometimes. And we're
Realize how
running
dumb
into
they look?
more huh?
And realize how dumb they look when they talk about
Yeah.
being a druid.
Oh yeah, well, there's that too. But I mean, and then there was a huge rumor going around about it that the druid was really a little kid's body, and it was
I don't know
hundreds
who
of years.
started that
No,
one, but it was so not true. I
It's
saw
so
the
not
druid's
true.
body. It was not a little kid.
no, it's an adult male with a
I-
beard. No, so whoever I actually had someone come on my stream and try to tell me that shit, and I'm like, no, just
I
no.
immediately looked it up because I was like, they would never do that. And they said it was a guy. And how I knew they were wrong is because everyone was saying the bear was a guy. And the person that was claiming it was a little kid was claiming it was a little girl. And I'm like,
Mm-mm.
something's not right.
Yeah.
As for me, I am getting interviewed. I won't say by who.
Ooh,
Surprise. Thursday, I'm getting interviewed. I am doing, obviously, the Mimi Month on Wednesday. I will be on the midweek hump. Tomorrow, we'll be discussing the bullshit interviews about Andrew Tate while we're on my stream. I really need to potty, which is why I'm shaking. And let me think. If all goes right, you will see the video on Thursday. And I've got 2 that I'm trying to aim for, including one of them being another collaboration. That'll be coming out next Thursday if all goes right. And it'll be a double header on my channel and on the other person's channel. So
nice.
I feel like mine was a little more boring because I picked something. Oh, excuse your stomach. But it'll still be fun. But other than that, guys, I think
we got it. Yep.
right. And then you will see me Sunday with yes, I gotta do PPs. You'll see me Sunday with Faye and Peachy, Monday with this lovely lady, and then Tuesday back for. I will say tomorrow I might be a little late because at 10 a.m. I have to meet with this lady. So, just letting you know. Otherwise, guys, that is all for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember to tell people that are important to you, to love and be safe. Remember to get your animals all fixed and vetted and horror.
Yes.
I love you.
I love you too.
You be safe.
You be safe too. Mwah.